Hey everyone, I am Elizabeth Sherman from Total Health by Elizabeth, and I am here to talk to you today about, those times when you don't get a lot of sleep and the next day you find yourself just inhaling everything that is carby and sugary and all that carby sugary goodness. So why does that happen? And what can you do to avoid it in the future? So first, let's talk a little bit about sleep, why we need it, why we do it. And to be honest, the research around sleep really is a very new topic. We don't actually know a lot about why we sleep, especially when you consider that, in caveman times, they would sleep for 8 hours and put themselves at risk for that amount of time when predators could theoretically approach. So we don't know a lot about why we do it, but we do know some of the things that happen when we do sleep. So, for example, one of the things that happens is we process what we have learned in the day. So there's a really great 60 Minutes piece, which I will link to in the comment section, about what happens when we sleep. So, for example, if you learn something and then take a test on it 8 hours later without sleeping, you will not do as best on that test as you would if you had slept during that time. So definitely we are learning when we sleep. The other thing that happens is our cells are regenerating and it helps our body repair. And that's actually going to be important for a little bit later on. Also, a few things to know about sleep deprivation. What happens when you don't get enough sleep is after a few days, we actually go insane. There have been a couple studies on sleep, and what happens is they've actually called the studies off because of the health of the subjects. So that's actually really important there, that you can't go for very long without any sleep whatsoever. But what's also really interesting here is that after just a few days of not having enough sleep, some of the subjects in these studies started showing signs of diabetes. They hadn't changed their diets at all, and all of a sudden they started showing signs of diabetes where they hadn't even before the study. So what that tells us is that when we don't get enough sleep, our cells actually do not show, our cells don't process energy properly. And so why that's important is because when you're sleep deprived, when you don't get enough sleep, and then the next morning you're looking around, or maybe it's middle of the afternoon and you're looking around for starchy, carby goodness, it's your body's way of saying, hey, we're not processing energy right now. We need something energy. And your body knows that carbohydrates are our primary source of energy. So they're going for the short, easy route. They don't care about your idea of wanting to lose weight. Your body is just saying, we need energy and we need it now. And so it's going for the pretzels or the cookies or anything else that's going to get nutrients to those cells actually very quickly. So when you're sleep deprived and you are looking for those starches, yes, part of that is willpower because you're tired and you're just like, give me something quickly. That's totally understandable. But the other piece is that something biological is going on right there. So what are some of the things that you can do so that you don't get sleep deprived, or so that you don't reach for those carbs? So one of the things is that you can have better sources of carbohydrates on hand. So like vegetables. And I know that that probably doesn't sound really good when you're in the middle of needing something carby midday. But you could do something like vegetables and hummus. That would actually be a really good suggestion. Also, fruit is an option. But if you want to stay away from starches altogether, then you might want to try something like nuts. Nuts are actually really good because they give you that saltiness that you want with your carbs. However, it's not going to give you the blood sugar spike that carbs are going to give you. So nuts might actually be a really good idea as well. And the other thing is that when you're sleep deprived and you're going for those carbs, you know, it starts this cycle of going for carbs and then not sleeping well and then having low energy and then, you know, just starting that cycle all over again. So what you want to try and do is you want to try and break that cycle. And so nuts aren't going to give you that blood sugar rise and then fall again mid-afternoon like you would get with a starch. So those are just some ideas. Of course, if you know you're tired, then the first thing in avoiding those mid-afternoon energy lulls is actually just awareness. So, you know, I find that awareness is key. Hi, puppies. I find that awareness is key whenever anything is happening with my body, just so that I don't go on autopilot, so that I can start being aware that, oh, you know what, I really didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so that means that I'm going to start needing something sweet later on. It depends on which camp you're in, if you're in the savory side or if you're in the sweet side. But just being aware that, you know what, I'm going to need something later can really set yourself up for success in preparing for that. So those are my suggestions on what you can do to get out of that midday slump. Again, if you can, try to get good sleep. But, you know, that's not always within our control. You know, we just came out of a tropical storm, and so the other night I really didn't get a lot of good sleep. So you just try to catch up on that when you can. So anyway, I hope you all have an amazing day. My name is Elizabeth. I'm from Total Health by Elizabeth. I'm a health coach that helps folks lean into healthier habits. I hope you all have an amazing day.